What's going on? Brandon here. We have an exclusive from Reuters. Wow. Thanks, Reuters. European Central Bank sees inflation above target through 2025. Well, what is that target exactly? And I'm not going to get in this article because I don't pay for these garbage media sources, right? There's a million ways. I've had a ton of newsletters over the years, and I actually got rid of a lot of them over the last year. So I still have a bunch. I still have a handful that I really like, and I believe in giving, and you shall receive. And I believe in giving to good people that are doing good things. But I had a bloat. I had a lot of them that I wasn't reading anymore, that just weren't doing it, that weren't providing truth, quite honestly. So I got rid of them, a lot of them over the last handful of months, really, just the last few months. So a couple of good ones still that I like. But some of these news organizations, again, there's so many ways to get news now, whether it's alternative sources or just looking at different headlines around the world, looking at different, Sky News or the Guardian, looking at stuff from all over the world. We talk a lot here about triangulating positions, right? And finding the truth, the signal within the noise. And again, the European Central Bank sees inflation to be very high going forward. That, it's very interesting. We talk a lot about the lost decade that really probably will be the next 10 years, as a lot of people, a lot of big advanced macro, banks calling it. And, here with the 2% inflation rate that we've been targeting here, especially in the Western world in America, they don't think that's going to be the case. And I've seen a lot of people say the Dr. Jeff Rosses, the Greg Fosses, the Jeff Booths, the Preston Pishes. I've seen a lot of people, the macro experts, saying that we will have a lost decade, and we're probably going to have higher inflation targets. Look for 3, 4, 5% as the new target, and just moving the goalposts. What do we know? What do we know? So be ready for the PSYOP campaigns and them saying, 2% stealing your wealth wasn't good enough each year, so 4% is good. We're going to double that rate of stealing. Because I believe, this is my opinion, that the IMF, and Ben Bernanke, the deflation, it can't happen here. We're going to print out our eyeballs and steal your currency no matter what. And then the IMF financial repression model is the way that the governments will choose, because it's the easiest way for governments. It's the kick the can down the road best option, and it's a way for the governments to get things down the road, hopefully, and people can deal with it once I'm out of office. So that's what I truly believe. And again, you can go to Bloomberg here. Again, BlackRock, one of the biggest asset managers in the world, is underweight long-term rates in new regime. Fund likes inflation-linked securities to protect portfolio. And again, you can talk about inflation-linked securities. Again, why would you want some, really, again, this is not financial advice, this is freedom advice. Me, I like to be able to control things. I like to know, as an investor, as an entrepreneur, I like to be able to know I have control of things that are going on. I like Bitcoin, gold, silver. I like no counterparty risk. I like bearer assets where I own them, I control them. I like businesses. I like real estate, things I can control. And I'm not I think there's time and place for stocks, for paper, for bonds, things like that. And this environment, boy oh boy. So if you're wanting things that are inflation resistant, or they're emergency situation assets, again, Bitcoin, gold, silver, food storage, guns, ammo, water, non-perishable items, those are the things that are going to do well, really, in commodities in general in the next 10 years, probably 10, 20 years, getting into really a bull market for commodities. So really prepare. Again, did a video about prepping and preparedness for anything, right? Natural disasters, acts of God, like solar flares. Please, if you don't think, in the comments, if you don't think things are going to get crazier, please comment below. Number one, please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here at all. And asking the hard questions, asking questions in general, question everything with boldness, and ask why. And if you truly think that things are just getting better, like society's coming together more, we're unifying more, we're getting closer together as people all around the world and internally in our country, if you think that's the case, please comment below. Please let me know. I would love to talk to you, even have you on here and talk to you about what you're seeing and in the world that's making you think that. I would love to know. That'd be brilliant, because I unfortunately don't see those things. I'm not seeing them. I try to look for things on all sides and all angles, like we say, to try to triangulate positions and find truth. I would love to know what I'm missing. And so in saying that, because I really don't see any of that, I see a lot of bad things happening. However, there's a lot of hope in that, because we can be prepared. We have to remove ourselves from the system, become our own central bank, Bitcoin, gold, silver, food, energy, water, guns, security, land. Get prepared and yourself, and life can change big time for you. And the more people do that, 1%, 5%, 10, 20% of people doing that, the whole system flips. The iceberg flips, and we actually don't run into a lot of the problems we find. That's the beauty of this. We see the ESG movement, cash pouring out, outflowing, massive outflows. The first time in 10 years I just saw, I believe it was BlackRock as well. The first time in 10 years, outflows on a yearly basis. That's people speaking their truth and saying, you know what, I'm voting with my money. This will happen with Bitcoin as well. People will eventually flip, and the iceberg will flip. People will realize the dollar, they're not backed by anything. It's not backed by a single thing. It's just a piece of paper. There's not, people say, oh, it's backed by the military. No, it's not. It's backed by confidence. Confidence, that's it. Confidence. So the minute that enough people go to the other side of the boat and say, the dollar is backed by nothing, like this is garbage, boom, iceberg flips. Whole thing, 90% of it flips up, and then we have a new paradigm. We have Bitcoin being the reserve monetary asset of the world and the reserve currency of the world. At the end of the day, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. Not saying go run out and buy every little last bit of Bitcoin possible. I don't even have everything in Bitcoin. I believe in risk management. However, we have to understand the world we're going into, the tech world that we're going to, the future trends, what's happening, the properties, the first principle, things that are built on first principles and primary assets, like Bitcoin. All the cryptos, scams, everything. We see FTX, we see their tokens, all the things being built. Those are scams. Those are things that they're trying to copy Bitcoin. They're trying to, scam you and just tell you that you're like Bitcoin or whatever. That's not the world we live in. We live in a different world. We have to live off first principles. So, again, the big boys are telling us that they think inflation is coming. Inflation is going to be here because they believe, too, that we are running a financial repression model, the IMF paper, Ben Bernanke, all the elites, well, I should say the unproductive class from the last number of decades, saying we have to inflate our way out of this. The only way to get out of it really is the only way to get out. So prepare for that. Prepare for that. Again, this is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. So again, please like and subscribe to this. And let me know what you like, what you don't like. Please share with someone you think might get something out of this. I appreciate your time and energy. It's the most important asset we have. It's the only finite asset we have, time. Like Bitcoin, it's the only two finite assets I know of. Again, if you know something else finite, truly finite, like those two things, please let me know in the comments. So make a fair trade. Have enough dignity for yourself to trade your finite time for the only other finite thing there is, Bitcoin. Have enough dignity for yourself. Please do not trade your finite time for anything that is infinite. That's insanity. I know it's a flippin' massive concept to truly understand, and a paradigm shift, a massive paradigm shift. Please think about that. This is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. Freedom advice. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one.